Our next guest, we have Netta.
Hey,
Hi, Netta.
Hi.
Netta,
Hey,
Netta. What's good?
Haley. Hey, Jessica.
What's going on, girl? How you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good, pretty good, pretty good. What is going on tonight with you?
Well, I'm just enjoying, the show. I'm checking you out, and I'm really just appreciating you allowing us to come on and share our stories. It's very therapeutic. Definitely
Yay.
appreciate it.
I appreciate you. So, first question. So I know. Well, other people don't know. So, are you still in your relationship now?
I am not. I've been
Right.
out over a year, about maybe about 20 months.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's been over a year now, so I'm loving it. I'm really loving it, enjoying my freedom. It feels like I'm out of jail. Feels like I was in prison. That's exactly
Oh,
what it felt like. Yeah, jail,
yeah.
a mental prison.
It is, and that's how when I'm doing one-on-ones with people, that's how I describe it to people. Sometimes it's just like, you are a prisoner. Sometimes in your
Right.
own home, not necessarily just in your own home, but within your own mind as well, within your own
Anytime.
body, because you can't
Yes.
even speak. You can't speak what you want to say and what you want to do and whatnot, because the narcissistic warden will strike down on you and put you in timeout.
Oh,
And
yes.
things like that.
He was good for it. He was real good for it. So, yeah, I'm out of the relationship, and it feels good.
Hey, I love to hear that though.
Mhm.
So in this space right now, so who do you feel like you were before you got into the relationship? How,
Well,
how long did it go on? How long did it go on first?
right. We were in a relationship for 9 years.
Who?
And yeah, pretty long time, right? Very,
Yes.
very long time. We were married and all. So I was in it for a very long time. And to answer your question, who I was before, it's
Mhm.
really hard to answer that question. I was so young. I was 23 years old when I got into the relationship with him.
Mhm.
But at that time, if I can remember going back to that time, I was a young mom. I was a mom of two toddlers when I got into the relationship with him. And I was still finding myself, right? At 23
Mhm.
years old, you figuring yourself out, figuring out what you like, what you don't like, things like that. And I was just developing. So before then, I was just a young mom, two small kids, figuring some things out. I had just
Mhm.
recently, got out of high school, did some college, just really finding my footing at that time.
Mhm. But so who is that though?
Who was I?
Yeah, who is that?
Uh,
You
I
you just you described a lot of things that you were doing and what you had going on, but like who were you?
who was I?
Within that
I
space.
was
Dig a
I
little bit,
was
dig a little bit.
at that time. I was just a mom. I was a young mom and young, immature. Yeah, that's who I was at that time.
See, that's digging deeper right there, because sometimes, like, I'm not saying calling you like immature person, but like sometimes
Oh, I was.
immaturity plays a role in
Yeah,
getting into these toxic relationship dynamics and staying
absolutely.
within them. It's just even that descriptive word right there can explain sometimes why people end up in these toxic relationship spaces. You're like, if you said, I was young and strong and just I used to ride horses and break horses,
Oh
yeah.
no. Oh, I was a baby. I was just a baby. I was just figuring some things out and I was very immature. He definitely, how he was able to get me in a relationship, he
Mhm.
told me he was going to be this amazing stepfather to my kids. And
Yeah.
I mean, that was so enticing. So yeah, I was just young and really hoping that he was going to be the change that he said he was going to do. I thought he
Mhm.
was, and he was presenting himself as that way, but it wasn't that at all.
So would you say you were kind of looking for that family dynamic as well? Because it's kind of similar to what Jessica said earlier.
What was the question?
So would you say you were kind of looking for that, like that full family dynamic? Because that's kind of similar
Absolutely.
to what Jessica was saying.
Yeah, absolutely. And he came into the relationship with two small daughters as well. Our
Oh,
kids were around the same age, and I just thought that we were gonna blend our families together. That's what I was hoping for, and that's what he was saying, and that's how he was portraying it, like we were going to blend our families and we were going to be one big happy family. But much like Jessica said, he kind of used that as a weapon against me and also dangling a proverbial carrot in front of me that things would get better,
yeah.
and he also would say I couldn't leave. How could you leave? How could you want to leave this relationship?
I
If I'm
heard the
just a
same
dad, I'm
thing.
just trying to take care of my kids. It was just a number of different things, but he definitely used that kid dynamic against me.
Okay.
uh
Yeah,
That's all. Just curious.
When I
Yeah.
decided to leave, I was told, like, because I decided to like leave, but we were still together, but like nobody seemed happy in the dynamics. I was like, this isn't really working for anyone. So when I decided to leave, he would use that against me too. Like, you abandoned us. And I'm like, we're still
Yes.
together. He's like, but he's like, no, you abandoned us, and now the kids hate me for that. It was like I couldn't win either way.
Yeah,
Couldn't win
yeah,
either way.
I agree. It's literally no winning. The best thing you can do is just, drop out. You just have to drop out because there's really nothing you can do. You can't please them in one way, then it's going to be a problem in another direction. Then you get that together. It's like I was just running on opposite ends trying to be the person he wanted me to be.
Yep, that
Absolutely.
happens. So that's the next question then. So who do you feel like you had to become to survive within this toxic relationship dynamic?
Who I became to survive in the relationship, I was someone that needed to fix his problems. In addition to him being narcissistic, having lots of narcissistic behaviors, he was an alcoholic as well. And I thought that it was my duty and my obligation to help him with his addiction. I did not think that, I never even knew that it was an option that I could leave. I thought it was just my obligation to be there because I thought that's what good women would do, is to help. And that's what I was trying to do. I wanted to be supportive in every kind of way. So I had to become a fixer, superwoman. I had a cape on. I had an S on my chest. I was solving every issue you could think of. I mean, I think of it like little fires everywhere. Like I was going and stomping out fires everywhere. And when I get one out, he would start another one. And I was losing my mind, Lee, because everything that I was doing, it was never enough. And he was telling people that I was the problem. He was telling people I was crazy and I was the problem. And I was combating that. I was trying to fight that, the smear campaigns. I was trying to combat that. And then in the process of that, I did lose my mind. I was going bat stuff crazy, okay? Bat poop crazy. I was losing it. Losing it. So superwoman, losing her mind. I became very mean. I was controlling. I had anxiety. I developed health issues. I had asthma. I never had asthma, or I never had a breathing problem a day in my life. But I developed a number of issues due to that fear and walking on eggshells in that relationship. So I went through a lot, and I became someone I didn't know who I was. I was lost.
So that's interesting right there, because you and Jessica have similar stories, but they are different at the same time, because it sounds like both of y'all kind of fell into the caretaker role where you end up like parenting your partner, so to speak. You become like you play the role of a parent, not only to your own children, but to your partner as well. And I tell people, like, when you feel like you're parenting your partner, it's just like you're no longer in a relationship.
Right. You're not. It definitely felt as though we were cousins. Cousins for real. Like, because honestly, there were times, what? The crazy thing about all of this, we go through so much with them, but there are some good days. There are some days where you're just like, oh yeah, that's why I love you. And then so for me, it was like, you're my buddy, you're my cousin. That's what it felt like. It felt like we were best cousins.
There's always good times. I tell people, if it was bad 100% of the time, you probably wouldn't be there.
Right.
There's always the good times, or the memories of the good times that kind of keep you there. The good times are a seed that's planted in the very beginning of the relationship, and it's just watered throughout. You just you give it some water every once in a while. It's that plant in the back room when you forget the water. Oh, damn, they got some brown leaves. Let me throw a little water on here.
Right.
Yeah. It's just like it's back there wilting. Your relationship is wilting. You give a little bit of water, a couple of droplets, just to keep it growing and whatnot.
That's exactly what he did. He would drop little droplets every now and again, and always, like I said, dangling that carrot in front of me that things would be better. And I was chasing that. I was chasing that perfection. Not that I was chasing perfection, but I was chasing that love bomb. I wanted him to start being, that lover again. Like, how can we get back to that? So so it drove me insane.
Yeah, it will. It can drive you crazy or whatnot. So now that you've been out of it for, I think you said 20 months, who do you feel like you are right now?
Oh my goodness. Today, I know you asked Jessica would she recognize, would that old version of her recognize this new version? And
Mm-hmm.
I would not know who I was if I was like walking across myself in the street. I would not know who I am. Just more, very much so empowered.
Mm-hmm.
I have a lot of clarity about who I am, what I want, what I like, what I don't like. I noticed that's how I was able to recognize that I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I don't know if I can say that on YouTube. I don't know what I was doing.
It's said now.
Right, I said it. It's said now. So yeah, I did not know what I was doing at 23 years old, and
Mm-hmm.
I believe it's more than just the age, of course, because there are people that have this issue older, in their 40s and 50s. But honestly, at that it was very tender. That's a very tender age, 23 years old. I just didn't know. So like I said, I have more boundaries. I feel so much more empowered. I have lots and lots of clarity and peace. And I just love my life today, honestly. And it's really not about money. It's not about any of that. Although I will say, when you're away from that toxic mess, your whole life just glows, like your bank account, your health, your skin, your hair, your nails, everything gets better. Everything gets better. Yeah. But
flowers, flowers grow better in the sunlight. So it's just in that space. So last question. I didn't ask Jesse this question. I should have. So if the the Netta right now could give advice to the Netta in the relationship, what would you say? What would that advice be?
Number one thing is to trust my intuition. I did not trust myself. I knew that was a crazy, chaotic relationship, but I did not trust my own voice. I did not trust my own intuition. I was always asking other people, what do you think? Asking my friends and my family members. And my ex-husband, he was a covert narcissist. So they seen the good version. They like, no, you tripping. He's a great guy. So just being able to trust myself, number one. And number two, self-love and boundaries. I would have said, if I could go back to 23-year-old me and just whisper in her ear, I'll say boundaries. Like while she sleep, I'll just say boundaries and wake up like, what the hell, boundaries? I said it again. I'm sorry.
You be your own white noise machine. Yeah.
Yes. I would just say boundaries. Like, so boundaries. And over and over again, just self-love. And that nothing's wrong with me. I would say that as well. Nothing is wrong with you, because I thought something was wrong with me. I thought that I was this bad person. I was mean. I was evil. All of the things that he was telling me. And I would just have to let me know nothing's wrong with you. You are perfectly fine the way you are. Love yourself. And those people, they don't have to love you. They have a problem within themselves. It's not with you. So that's pretty much.
Hey, well, thank you for saying that. I appreciate you, like I said, spreading that right there. So if y'all want to follow Netta, she likes her at right there is at Netta Speak. She's everywhere. She makes great skits. She talks about a lot. She goes live. Like I see you live like every day. On TikTok. Yeah, I see you live on TikTok and whatnot. So y'all shout out to Netta. Thanks for coming on here. We'll plot another one soon. Okay.
Yeah. I appreciate you. Thank you, Jessica. Right. Thank you, Lee. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Thank you. Appreciate it. See,
That's
I like to say